What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Offensive Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClick? It's your boy Tone 202 on a rainy Friday, and I want to talk about being a second class citizen. Okay, so this all goes back to what Colin Kaepernick is doing, protesting the flag, and I just want to give some people a reminder of what this country has done to second class citizens. Like my family, me on a personal level. I'm a military veteran. I was in the Army, and my father's a veteran. He was also in the Army. My sister on my father's side, she's a veteran. She was also in the Army, and my brother on my mother's side, also a veteran. He's a retired veteran. My sister is a retired veteran. I'm a disabled veteran, and I'm not sure if my father's a disabled veteran or not. But nonetheless, uh, during the time during World War II, they had what was called the colored troops, and when the colored troops went to fight the Germans would taunt the colored troops and say, "Why are you fighting for a country that hates you?" And they were not lying. Listen, I went to Germany during peacetime, of course. I went to Germany, and the one thing that I noticed in Germany is that the Germans don't mess with you. They've never called me any racial slur. Even if they said it in German, you would see the emphasis on what they were trying to say, but none of them. I talked to, I would go out on the community all the time. The police never even bothered me. They never followed me. No nothing. I mean, it was a whole different world. I was in shock, you know. But when I come back here, I get followed all over the country. I used to travel all over the country. Why? Because I'm a second class citizen. Uh, you know, my sister, she went to war. She came back second class citizen. I was in during wartime. I tried to actually go to war during Desert Storm, but I didn't go. I had a friend who went, and I posted what had happened to him because I tried to go to war with him. And when he came back, he's African American. Guess what? Second class citizen. My brother is a retired Army. I forgot what he retired as a sergeant. Second class citizen. I worked for the House of Representatives back in 1999 for a year. I worked for four different representatives. And guess what? I'm still a second class citizen. You got to understand, we second class citizens weren't even allowed to vote until 1964. We were here well over 200 years before that. Well over 200 years. The Star Spangled Banner was written, what, in two, 300 years ago, whatever, and we weren't even able to, what was it? When was it say? When was it? Wasn't 300 years ago. It was more like, I think it was 200 years ago or something like that. But nonetheless, when it was written about killing the slaves. It was talking about how no free slave will go unpunished. They were going to kill the slaves who wanted to um, fight for the English. That's what they wanted to do. You got to understand that black people have been fighting American wars that America has started with other countries and its own country against black people. We have been fighting the war since we've been here. It's the longest standing civil war ever. And we're second class citizens. And you want us to stand up for a flag that lets us know constantly we're second class citizens. People think the flag is freedom. Oh, it represents freedom, but it doesn't always represent freedom. You know who it represents freedom for? Other countries to come into this country and to exercise their civil liberties and get ahead in a fashion that they couldn't in the oppressed country that they live in. When you go to Germany, do you think you're free in Germany? Answer: yes, you are. You are free in Germany. There are black people who live in Germany, although not as many as in America, but there are plenty of black people who live there. Plenty. There are other countries that are free, and they're not executing black people in the street. They're free country. This is not the only free country, but this is one of the most oppressive countries that will not admit that they're oppressing people. They won't admit it because they keep throwing that flag in your face. Oh, the flag this, and you're disrespecting the flag. Yes, yes, they're disrespecting the flag because the flag does not represent freedom when you can go outside and see your child get shot and the cop goes on vacation. That is not free. That's not free, people. There's no freedom in that. You might as well live in Mogadishu. You might as well go over there, Black Hawk Down. You might as well live in Syria because that's what's happening in Syria. Those people are being shot down. Those people are being executed or getting their heads cut off. There's no different over here. Look what happened to John Berg. White people did that to John Berg. Look what happened to Sandra Bland. White people did that to Sandra Bland, and Sandra Bland was the only female who was hung within that month. There were 5 other people who were hung, and they were all women in jail. You tell me they all just decided to commit Harry Carey and just kill themselves? They just, you know what? We're gonna go to jail over a traffic ticket. A traffic ticket. You issue somebody the ticket, they go on about their business. You don't tell them to get out the car. Why? You give them their ticket, they go on about their business. Get out the car, she's dead. This is why people are shooting at the cops when the cops tell them to stop. No, because I don't think I'm going to live. How many people have been shot in the back of a police car? And the police say that they shot themselves, although they were handcuffed with double handcuffs and feet. And they were frisked twice before they got into the car. That just happened. It's not liberty. It's not freedom. The flag does not represent freedom when you're taking people's freedoms away. When you're scaring the hell out of people. When you're shooting people in front of everyone for selling cigarettes and for selling what he was selling CDs. He was trying to get his hustle on. He was selling CDs, and then you pull the gun out of his pocket when the guy is laying there dead. And he was no threat to you. He said absolutely nothing. He just laid there and he got shot at point blank range. Freedom is not free. All second-class citizens. I'm a second-class citizen even though I serve this country and I serve this state that I live in. I have no felonies. My brothers, my sisters, my dad, no felonies. We all serve this country. We all sign up to go to war. And some of us, we signed up during wartime and went to war. We signed that piece of paper knowing what we were in for. And we were ready to die for this country and came back second-class citizens. Let Colin Kaepernick protest. He's protesting against the simple fact that he knows he's a second-class citizen. I mean, what, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you weren't even able to vote? And the truth is, the Constitution wasn't written for black people. We weren't even considered human. We were subhuman. You don't believe it? Look it up. They considered us apes. I don't know how they considered us apes when we have opposable thumbs. Second-class citizens. In 2016, I am still a second-class citizen. I can get in my car, or I can just walk down the street, and the police can pull up and ask me for ID. For absolutely nothing. Run a 50 on me and take me to jail for something that they truncated, made up, and hang me in jail and say that I hung myself. I committed suicide. And you know what? None of them will go to jail. None of them will do time for it. Until they die and then God sends their soul to hell for murder, which is going to happen. Second class citizens. So I don't want to hear about the flag. I don't want to hear about this great country. I don't want to hear about it. Yes, do I exercise the freedoms that I have? Yes. But could I go to another country and be free? Yes. I can go to another country and live just fine without being hunted by the police, without going to jail. There are plenty of countries out there who are uh, second, third world countries. They don't hunt you down and kill you. Everybody think, oh, this is a third world country. I'm gonna first world, third world. There 5 different world countries. Just so y'all know, we are a first world country. There are other countries you can go to. Anyways, let Colin Kaepernick protest. He's a second class citizen.